Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Art Dealers. It's your resident Black Spider-Man, Mr. Karabo Mdluli. We are back with another voicemails episode. It's been a while, and again, you guys know this. I love this series. I love hearing what you guys have to say, the perspectives you bring, and I just want to give a big shout out to Megan Ravelli. I'll make sure to overlay her page somewhere on here. She actually came up with the episode topic for this particular series. So I just want to give a big shout out to her. Hopefully she sent through her one as well so we can hear what she said. So this topic I think is interesting because last year, 2020, I think was a weird one for a lot of people, coming in and out of lockdown for many countries. A lot of relationships started, a lot of relationships ended, and I think it's interesting that we can now kind of talk about this kind of thing. So the topic for this episode, shout out again to Megan Ravelli, is what are your red flags and green flags in relationships? And I think that's quite an interesting topic. And if you know me, if you follow me, you know that, sorry, Mark is just walking there. If you know me and follow me, you know that sometimes I'll put in random nonsense on my story and say like, if she lives in Cape Town, red flag. I truly don't believe that. I just like to troll a little bit. But I do have some, with this particular topic, especially with red flags, I have kind of two ways I see it. I have my irrational ones or unreasonable ones, and then my sort of kind of real red flags. And not to waste your time, my kind of irrational ones are if she supports Liverpool, if she's a Taylor Swift fan, and what was the other one? I think those two are probably my two big ones. And I know those are ridiculous. I understand those are utterly ridiculous. And I'll tell you what, the Liverpool one, I'm a United fan. It's rivalry. It is what it is. The Taylor Swift thing, I feel like there's a certain aura that Taylor Swift fans give off. It's quite pretentious. And ultimately, at the end of the day, music is subjective, so I'm not going to be too pressy about that one. But my real red flags, the way, if you're out with someone, the way that person treats a waiter, a matron, someone who's serving them, I think tells a lot about that person. So I would say be aware of those kind of things. And also someone who treats their family badly. And I say this with a grain of salt because I understand a lot of family situations aren't that great. But I will say this, I think if you can still find a way to honor those around you, even in the smallest way, I think tells a lot about you. So treating people badly, but especially your family, I think is really, really bad. And I think one of my biggest red flags is probably someone who jumps straight into relationships. I've never been that type of person who just dives straight into a relationship. I think that something needs to be formed as far as friendship. There needs to be a good foundation. And that time frame doesn't have to be a year or 2 years or 3 years. It can be like 2 or 3 months, but I think that having that foundation is very, very important. I don't think I could ever meet someone and a couple of days later start dating them. I don't think, that's just not me. But if that's you, no judgment from me. That's just not my thing. And my green flags, I think this is quite small. I think someone who's funny, that's like my kryptonite. That is, you can marry me. I love funny people in general. And I guess someone who I can have a really good conversation with. I think conversation is like probably the most important thing to me. Over the phone or in person, if you can just get along, I think that's kind of the biggest green flag for me. But yeah, this is me, guys. It's a quick little intro. We're going to dive into what you guys have to say. So I hope you all enjoy these voicemails that everyone sent through. And see you guys at the next one. Peace out.
So a big red flag for me in a relationship would be when you begin to justify their bad traits. Another red flag would obviously be entitlement and obviously a lack of trust. For me, in a relationship, a green flag is when I know that I can be my best self around this person and they bring out the best of me. Also, compromise and loyalty are big green flags for me.
So, I think for me, a red flag is a lady that smokes. There is nothing worse than a lady that smokes. For me, it's a personal choice. But look, I think from a green flag point of view, a lady that will go out of the way for me. Listen, you do everything more for me. I appreciate effort. I'll do anything for you in this whole world if you go out of the way for me. That's my green flag.
Ayo, it's Enoch from Four Ways, and I'm just going to share the first two answers that came to my mind. And I feel like they go both ways with most types of relationships. So to get into it, my first type of red flag is a partner that can't understand or deal with the fact that you can have friends from the opposite gender. Like, whether you met before, during, or after the relationship, like if your partner can't deal with the fact that you can have friends of the opposite gender and have it just be that, a friendship, nothing more, nothing less, I think there are probably some serious trust issues that you both have to go through. And my second type of red flag is a partner that cares more about the appearance of the relationship or the appearance of themselves versus themselves, like the actual health of whatever, like their mental or the relationship itself. Like if you care more about how people view your relationship than your relationship itself, like I think it just shows your focus is in the wrong place, and that you need to shift your priorities because you're not in it for the right reasons. But to switch over, my first type of green flag is definitely if conversation doesn't feel like you're trying. I think that's definitely a great flag. Like if you can just talk to someone and you don't feel like you have to try in conversation, like the conversation just naturally flows and you both enjoy communicating with each other about like random things, even if it's like dumb stuff or super serious stuff. Like if conversation just flows easy without you having to try that hard, that's like a pretty good sign in my opinion. And it kind of leads into my next green flag, which is pretty much if you find yourself like actively making time to speak to or be with your partner or just engage in any type of interaction. Like if it's not just like, yo, I have free time, let me hit you up. Like if you're actually making time in your day to interact with the person before you even in a relationship or during, I just think that's a good sign. So yeah, those are my 2 red flags and 2 green flags. I don't know, maybe they're wrong, maybe they're right, but those are the first 2 things that came to mind.
Hi, my name's Esona. I'm from Joburg, and my red flags are when gents love bomb me. Like when guys like give you all this affection and love, and then they'll drop off the face of the planet like that. And because they've given you so much of that love and affection so early on, like 2 weeks in, they're like, oh my gosh, you're my everything. You're this, I can't live without you. Because they've done that, like they've given you all that affection and reassurance. Like after they drop off, like you're kind of left craving like what they want. And like when they come back, you stupidly go back to them because it's like, yo, they're going to give me what they gave me. And you suddenly your mind just my mind just disregards the fact that they've completely like ghosted me and like come back when they felt like it. But yeah, my red flags are my green flags, sorry. My green flags are when guys are respectful and know what they want. Like I don't vibe with guys who are like, yo, I'm getting to know you, but I'm also getting to this other hand as well because, I'm not sure. Like, no, know what you want. If you want me, you want me. If you don't want me, you don't want me. Another thing, be straight up and be accountable. You need to be accountable for your actions. And don't be afraid to call me out. And don't be afraid to be called out. Those are my green flags.
Hi, my name is Jess from Pretoria. And a few green flags that I have in my relationships have definitely been when someone just treats you with respect and definitely just like takes the time to learn and understand who you are as a person instead of just like making assumptions or jumping to conclusions. Definitely another one is just like when they like show that they value the time that they spend with you. And like they just like show to others like that you mean a lot to them. And then some red flags are possibly when like the effort is very one-sided. Like definitely like when the effort just isn't reciprocated, that's just when you know. And when people lie to you about things, that's like definitely like a really big red flag. Like yeah, no. And also when like they just try to brag to you about like certain things, like if they seen another girl or something, like when you're still in the talking stage, or like this and that. It's just like really stupid.
Hi, my name is Kelsey. I'm from Howick in KZN, and a definite red flag for me is lack of support in a relationship. This can come from ridiculing or joking about decisions that you've made from your significant other, or maybe the way you look, maybe the way you dress, and it just really bites down on your confidence and just makes you feel really insecure, which then makes you rely on the person more in the relationship, and it just turns into a really toxic environment. So then, just off the back of that, my green flags are definitely when someone is very supportive in a relationship, and they understand that, you are you and they are them, but the decisions that you both make will influence each other later on in the future, which is really nice. So they'll support you and give advice. And then also another green flag is definitely when someone can make you laugh. That for me is, really big achievement. So yeah.
Hey, I'm Kemi from Joburg East. What are my red flags? I have none. I'm kidding. I mean, spelling is like a huge thing for me. Knowing the difference between T-O and T-double-O. But yeah, other red flags, I have none, and that's the problem, and that's why my relationships or situationships do not last that long. Green flags, spelling, reading, also just being someone that I can talk to. Oh, people that have like really, really good taste in music, interested in like fashion or like photography, film as well. I mean, we can talk about sports, but will I know what you're saying is the question. We could talk about sports outfits. Other green flags. Not being like, just like being honest and being just a kind person to everyone that you meet, no matter like their background or anything like that. But also like a red flag is like someone that's just rude, unprovoked, that's just mean for absolutely no reason. Like they wake up upset, go to bed upset. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, I am Lemo, originally from Joburg but currently residing in Pretoria. So I think I'm going to kick off with my green flags first. So number one, I love feeling comfortable. As much as, obviously, if it's someone you're interested in romantically, you want to have those feelings of giddiness and, butterflies, whichever way you want to see it. But overall, I want to feel a sense of comfortability, just to be an unfettered version of myself. And that obviously means that there is the absence of shame on my part for, like showing the uglier parts of me and my life's journey. But on the other end, it's the absence of judgment. Number two, men who remember the small things about you. It's just love it, absolutely love it. And the last thing is probably the most important thing, and I think we just all know how difficult relationships can be, so it's just so important to rock with someone who has the same vision as you, and obviously the same values, morals, etc. as you do. And this other person put it so beautifully, don't know who they are, but they're just talking about you guys should have the same altar that you bow down to, and the same source that you draw your strength from. And as Christians, that's obviously Christ. And That was really important. And then on red flags, there are many, but I think the most crimson of reds for me would have to be, let me just go with one, and that is a man that does not open up about his feelings. I just think, like I said, because relationships are such an intimate space that it's meaningless or futile to try and have this, or to try and establish this relationship, if either end isn't willing to be open.
So for me, I think a red flag in a relationship would be someone who disrespects other people. So they are extremely rude to those around them, or they're just not respectable or respectful in the way that they conduct themselves around others. I think manners are a very attractive thing for me. Not necessarily being the person that people walk over, but just being good to other people and treating people well and having genuine concern about others is a green flag for me. That is very much indicative of how you would treat me. I think that also the way that person, the patterns in their lives, are they good patterns? Are they consistent patterns? Are they respectful patterns? So that for me is the main thing. I'd also say a red flag for me would be someone who does not care about how they look. Not necessarily being vain, but likes feeling good about themselves. Likes to smell good, likes to dress well. I think that is very nice, like to have someone like that. But someone who doesn't care at all. It's one thing not to be concerned about other people's opinions, but to not care about yourself or not look after yourself, it is super unattractive. Huge red flag. Just that like flippant behavior is, no, it's just not gonna fly. So yeah. You know what's also like a big red flag is like dudes who are overly sexual in the way that they message at first. So you know when you were saying like how couples are like so fast, like they'll be like together in 2 weeks. Like for me, when I chat to dudes and then they're like super, you know, like have such sexual innuendos in their messages, like it's so off-putting, you know. And yeah, I just thought of that one. That was very weird. Very, very weird. Or even boring conversations. The thing is, if someone's boring over the phone, that's also weird. And boring in text, nah, that's weird. Like, I'm fine if, like, we just call each other in the day. But if you decide that we're going to be texting, at least be an interesting texter, you know? Yeah, like, if we're not engaging well over the phone and in text, like, no, that's okay. Yeah. Those were also ones for me. Also, people who are close-minded. Like, say, ignorant stuff about race or sexuality or even misogynistic, like stuff they believe about women. Like, just a man's fundamental beliefs about women, if they just sound like super ignorant or, you know, backwards, that's huge red flag for me. Yeah, those are all the red flags. I forget what the green flags are. You know, like someone who smells good, also, yeah, like someone who likes to be fun, good times, fun times, funny is also big, like funny is a huge green flag. And even, yeah, likes to do things. Someone who just like wants to chill like all the time. No. Like I like people who like to do things, like guys who like have things on their mind that they like to do. That's fun, Yeah, that's my extra sprinkle of green flags, red flags, yeah.
Hello, people of the interwebs. My name is Louise, and I'm from Kenya. For me, red flags in a relationship would be 1, someone who's overpossessive and someone who doesn't take corrections. I'd say I value my freedom a lot, and so for someone to come into my life and say and dictate how and when I should do things just feels really, really wrong. I'd say that another thing is that someone who proves that their way is the only way, which is kind of the same thing. Another thing would be someone who uses your insecurities or fears during fights. Like they know about the things that would hurt you and then they go ahead and use that against you. It's just so wrong to me. Okay, not wrong, but a red flag. Another thing is boundaries. Like they don't respect your boundaries. When you say that you don't like something and this person goes, they know that you don't like it and they just still do it, that's a major red flag, because it just shows that in the future, when it comes to something serious, like a serious situation or something, and they have to deal with it, then it means that your needs and wants will be compromised and they wouldn't care about that, which shouldn't be the case. And for green flags, I'd say I feel like someone who doesn't judge you. Like if you like something, like a certain thing, especially for me, like music, my music taste differs from so many people I've met, and if someone comes in and they just don't, it's not that they should like everything about you or even like the music taste or something. It's just that they shouldn't judge you and say that your music taste sucks or it's just not the best. Like, just judge you. Yeah, I'd say it would be a green flag for someone if someone accepts the way you are. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say on that. Bye.
Hi, my name is Natacha Steyn. I am currently living in Germany for my studies, and I originally come from South Africa. And I will be talking about red and green flags within a relationship. When I think about green flags within a relationship that I find really like a bonus green flag. Firstly, when you find a partner that is on the same page with you regarding your faith, And then secondly, most importantly, really such a bonus, green flag, I would say when you find a person who laughs like they don't care, like when they have like this weird laugh, that embarrassing laugh, that they just don't care. Like, to me, that is actually like the starting point of a very good green flag, a big green flag, because that leads to the next point where the person just loves to be himself and be weird and not care if someone else does not accept who they are. They're truthful to themselves, which means they are real. And in the end, actually, we are all weird because everybody is unique. And when you find a person who just loves to be him or herself, that will attract you to also be yourself and be weird and just love yourself for who you are. Because that person, that partner loves you for who you are. And that is just beautiful. When I start off by red flags that I familiarized myself with in my past experiences, I would say that the most important red flag that I look out for is the person's assumptions towards their partner, like their negative assumptions, like assuming they're doing something bad. Like what I mean by this is, like when your partner starts assuming you're cheating on them behind their back when you're just going out with your friends, or like when your partner's like randomly going through your phone just in case you're hiding something, and you have to keep proving yourself that you're trustful, you're loyal, you're not doing these kind of things behind their back. Like these trust issues, which is so common in relationships. And some people don't really pay attention to this. They don't put a red flag up when they experience this. And it's a problem because, to me, this is a blind red flag. And people often forget that how a person perceives another, or how a partner perceives their partner, they usually base them off of their values or off of their actions. Because when you question this, why are they even thinking that you're cheating on them? What makes them think that? Like these kind of questions should like raise in your mind, like, aren't they thinking about this because they're doing this behind your back and they're scared that you're also doing it? Like, these are things to think about. And in fact, this is actually like a red flag upon another, because it's also very controlling to be checking up on your partner 24/7, and having a controlling partner can limit you from your freedom and your happiness, and it will all lead to a bad ending when you have a controlling partner. And it's important to ask yourself from the start, where is this relationship going to lead when these things that is happening in my relationships like keep going on, like these trust issues, this controlling, like where is this relationship gonna end? Is it gonna end with a happy marriage or a sad heartbreak? And usually the first thing that comes up in your head, or that gut feeling, is always right. Like in my past relationship experience, like right at the beginning from my relationship, I remember we were driving and I was looking at myself in this little mirror in the car. And I just remember, I told myself, I really see a terrible heartbreak coming at the end of this relationship. And that's exactly what happened. Like, your gut feeling is always right. And yeah. And that is my view on red and green flags in a relationship that I find important. And obviously, with every experience, I get to know more and more red flags and green flags, and how they show up, what to look out for, and how to be cautious. It's like finding clues. It's like solving a mystery. And when I compare this, actually, I actually used to play this game in my younger days called Minesweeper, this computer game Minesweeper, where you have like this board with buttons everywhere, and behind one of these buttons, or like 5 of these buttons, are bombs, and you have to like try to resist them. And in order to resist them, you need to use the clues to work around these bombs and not explode, like press on these bombs. And one, obviously you can't just like go ahead and play, you have to use the clues, because otherwise you will like end up in these bombs. And to me, this is such a beautiful or perfect comparison towards a relationship, because it's exactly the same. You have to like look out for these like red flags. You can't just ignore them, because it will help you to see if this relationship is healthy, if it is sure, like if you will be happy. And yeah, so that's it. That is my view on this whole relationship thing, and I thank you for listening.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? So I'm Nomsa, and these are my red flags. So red flags in a relationship would definitely be lack of communication, inability to communicate, emotional immaturity, passive aggressiveness, pettiness, a person who doesn't view me as an equal or believes in traditional gender roles. What else? Let me say, I'd also say green flags. Green flags, definitely a person who can communicate, a person who is willing to do the work, the internal work, going for therapy, healing from childhood trauma, all those good things, learning, growing, willing to deal with their emotions. Green flag, that's attractive. I think especially with, guys and hetero, normative, hetero relationships, guys who have met themselves. That's huge green flag for me. What else? A person who's able to communicate, a person who is safe. Safety is a huge deal. Safety, being able to feel safe, like can you rest with them? Can you be yourself? Can you take off your jacket with them? If you know what I mean. Like, can you sit and just relax? Because there's some people where you can't do those things. You don't feel safe. You're always on guard. You always have your guard up. And so a green flag is definitely being able to relax with somebody and exhale. Okay, this is 2 minutes. Let me think of one more. I've said safety. A person who respects your boundaries, and a person who elevates you. Like what is the value add? What value are you bringing to my life? So a person who actually champions you and wants you to grow and wants you to do well and isn't trying to compete with you. And they cheer you on when you're doing whatever it is. I think that's also a huge thing. And empathy for you and empathy for other people as well, and compassion, just being able to care about other people and actually not be toxic and just be like and not have like, I don't want to say Republican values, but like not having that, kind of like when a person who cares about social justice. So a compassionate person who cares about social justice and things like that. Those are green flags. And a person who cares about the world, an intellectual person who thinks about things, but can think about things from an empathetic and compassionate viewpoint. So not just if you like, when you see people who are poor or something, you just think, why don't they get a job? Why don't they pull themselves up from their bootstraps? But you actually can recognize the social, economic the socioeconomic factors at play. Things like that. You can recognize the why. You can, things, a person who thinks that way. I think those are huge, huge, huge green flags. Yeah. Because, there are many red flags. People are about themselves. Yeah, okay.
Hi there. This is Thapelo Tsie, but you can call me TP. I'm from Long Park, Bloemfontein. I hope y'all good. Alright, let me get into it. Question is, what are your red flags and green flags in relationships? I'm finna start with red flags right now. For any relationship, I think communication is key for its growth or ascension. But if you really look at it, how you communicate is what's really important. See, for me, I prefer less communication, if that makes sense. Well, let me put it in layman's terms. If you continuously do something repeatedly, 9 times out of 10, it will become average. And is it really exciting doing something you're already used to? I believe people's emotions are pendulum-like. So if you're willing to text or call me every day, that's a red flag for me, because often at times we don't realize what we don't want until we get too much of it. Yeah. Another red flag for me is when my partner has a lot of time on their hands. I'm always busy, to be honest. And sometimes I just prefer to be busy with something. I just cannot deal with someone who's always free to hang out and who's never unavailable. Yeah. There's also this red flag I just thought of just a moment ago. What was it? Oh, lies. Yeah. Lies are poison. One thing I've realized with reference to my previous relationships, some secrets can remain hidden and lies are undetectable, but things have a way of coming out. So if you choose to continue the toxic pattern, you are only dooming yourself and the relationship. The heart is a muscle for deception. We all know that. So dishonesty is a red flag for me. Regardless of how small the lie is, it still has an impact. And I also think alcohol consumption is a red flag. For me, I understand if my girlfriend sips on wine here and there, but if she goes beyond wine, nah. As a person who barely drinks, that gets me off. I really find that unattractive, to be honest. Another red flag I can think of is... Oh flip, I just went blank. Oh no. Okay, let's get on with the green flags. As an attentive listener, beyond the green flags, right? Yeah. As an attentive listener, listening and paying attention is a green flag for me. I don't really like to talk, but when I do, I always try to be honest and I always give out my undivided attention. And it only makes sense if it's vice versa, right? It's pretty simple. When I offer you heaven, I expect you to pray for me. I remember this one time. I hold this story close to my heart, honestly. This one time, I was having problems purchasing a book online because I was using an Android device at that time. I didn't want to ask my girlfriend to use her phone because the book was a bit expensive and I didn't want to burden her with all of that. I was really disappointed though. A year later, I think it was the morning of my birthday. No, sorry. It was the morning after. Yeah, it was the morning after. She sent a PDF file of the book. I was shocked, to be honest. I'm still shocked to this day. I don't want to lie. What I'm trying to say here is that details are very important, guys. See, I didn't have to tell my girlfriend anything. You know why? She was already paying attention and she was already interested to know more. Come to think of it, a show of interest is a green flag for me. See? Oh yeah. And right on that detailed subject, I also remember my best friend, yeah. I think when was it? I cannot remember the date clearly. Yeah, so my best friend once told me that she had a certain type of flowers she liked, but I forgot. Yeah, she was really had some time when her boyfriend bought her nothing for her birthday. So, me, to be honest, I really forgot what those flowers were that she liked. But the only thing I could recall is that yellow was her favorite color. So I got her yellow lilies. And guess what? She loved them. See, that's details, fam. Details. Small or big, just pay attention. You'll get there. I don't have enough green flags I can think of at the moment. Yeah, I think... yeah. If we share the same playlist, that's a bonus green flag. I don't want to lie. I believe if we vibe to the same music, man, that would be something special. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm done now. Shout outs to the art dealers for that amazing content. Peace.
Hello, my name is Tshego Kwele.
Hello, my name's Akhona Mgwaba.
And these are our red flags. So, personally, if a guy has that specific earring that dangles and has a cross on it, that is a strong no. Red flag, stay away from me, booty.
Hey, but like...
It's a problem because it's kind of cute.
Hey, it's kind of cute.
But red flag. That's red flag number one.
Mine is just like, I can't deal with niggas that have like too many followers on like Instagram, on like social media. Like, you just need to be low key. So if you have like, guys, there's no need for a guy to have 1,000 followers. No, like, there's no need. I don't know why so many people are following you. Like,
yes,
what are you doing?
Why is your business out there?
Why is your business out there?
Are you an influencer?
Guys, please.
No.
And on top of that, then you post selfies.
Now every day we must content create together. No.
I don't know, for me. Like, some people it works, I won't lie. Like, I have my exceptions, but hey, generally, no.
Okay. Niggas who are too friendly. Because now that's an excuse for everybody. Oh, he was just that's his excuse. No, I'm just a friendly person.
I'm just an unintentional flirt. Oh my gosh,
bore me. Red flag. Don't be that and like, please just be a nonchalant nigga.
Please.
Yep.
My other one was just that, like, oh gosh, I don't like guys who be posting their opinions too much. Like, just, all you need to tweet about is soccer. And I don't even, hey guys, literally just stick to soccer. And like, what else do niggas like? Like, cricket.
Like, yeah, stick to that.
When you just have too many opinions, and then you've got Twitter beef here. Your name is trending.
Now your man is a discourse. No ways. No. Sir. No. Yep. Agreed. Okay, so our green flags. I'm going to start with an ambitious person. Just because, like, ambition comes with so many things, like discipline. To reach your goal, you got to be disciplined. Just, like, drive and, all of these things that I think ambition implies. So... yeah, and it's cool to see somebody who really wants to work hard for something that they really want. That's a green flag.
I think, mine's similar. It's like just passion about something. It can be, something, because I'm like, but like, just like when you talk about something and your like eyes light up and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, this is what I'm into, this is what I want to do in life. So pretty similar to ambition, but like when you just like light up when you talk about like the things you are like working towards, or the things you're doing currently. Love that.
Okay, Cool. Agreed. Being funny. I'm going to go back to basics. Being funny. Guys, there are people out there who think they're funny, but they're not. Now it's awkward because now I must fake laugh. Yeah. Joking, guys. I don't fake laugh. I'm lying. Maybe I do. Anyways, please actually make me laugh. Like, be funny. Like, I want to feel tears in my eyes. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah.
One of mine, I think, is just because I think I've met a lot of guys who do that weird thing of like they just only kind of respect girls that they're like attracted to. So when you respect like if we're like at Groove or Chillers or whatever, and I can see, okay, you're pursuing someone, obviously. Don't now just look at everyone and be like, I don't care about you. I'm not gonna greet the other girls. Like, I like someone who's just gonna, come into the room, be kind, just, have manners. Yeah, I think it's literally the basics. It's literally bare minimum stuff, but yeah.
I love how nice. Green flags are bare minimum.
Literally, that's what I'm like. I was struggling to find them because I'm like, it's just basic stuff. It really is. It's like manners, really being respectful, being kind. Like,
green flag.
You're like, ooh, but man, yeah.
Thank you.
As always, thank you so much to everyone who contributed. Always love these episodes so much. These were hilarious and really insightful. Super excited for the next episode, whenever the next voicemails episode is coming. But we got some cool content on the way. And thanks again for everyone who listens, who shares, comments, likes, subscribes, wherever you're listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, comment all the YouTube things. If you're listening over any podcast app, make sure to share it with people. And yeah, thanks again. Thanks for listening in. As always, it's your resident Black Spider-Man, Mdluli. We'll check you guys soon. Peace out.